Hey everybody, welcome back to AR Movie Memos. We are about to get into this review of Predator, Killer of Killers. This animated film is the 6th Predator film and the 8th installment to the franchise. This film is directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who is no stranger to the franchise. He previously directed the last film, Prey, a part of the Predator franchise. And he is also directing the upcoming Predator Badlands film. With him getting a second crack at the Predator franchise, we are getting an animated anthology film this time, where we have 3 tales of individuals encountering the Predator in different times and eras. And it is nice to see something like this come to fruition. And it's nice seeing something like this done in an anthology format, where we do get to see the Predators interact with other cultures throughout different time periods. This has been teased before in previous films. In the second Predator film, we saw Danny Glover receive a old musket from one of the Predators, having a better understanding of how long they have been coming to Earth and how long that they have been on these hunts for. And in Robert Rodriguez's Predators, one of the characters who was a part of the Yakuza stated how long that they may have been hunting people for, finding an old samurai sword. Now in our first story, we follow a character named Elsa. She is the leader of a Viking clan and on an expedition to get revenge on the man who killed her father many years ago. The second story in our anthology story is called The Sword. This story is set in Japan, 1609, where we have 2 estranged brothers who come together after being separated for 20 years, who comes together to face off against the Predator. And last, our third story is called The Bullet, where we follow a character named Taurus who is drafted into World War II as a U.S. Navy pilot. And we show the encounter that the Army has with a Predator during the World War II era. Now, going into this film, I really didn't have too many expectations. I did see the trailer of it when it first came out, and I was curious about it. And since it is out now, I gotta say, I enjoyed it for the most part. It's not a perfect film. The stories were good overall. Story 2, The Shield, was my favorite one. With the second story, The Sword, one of the things that really stood out to me is the storytelling they had with not a lot of dialogue. It was excellent storytelling through characters' actions, their facial expressions, with the action set pieces and the choreography that they had throughout the story. Another pro I have is how they approach the Predator in each story, how their character design was, the tech that they had during each time period, and the way they went about going on their hunts in each story. I wasn't crazy about the first story, but I loved the violence and the artwork that they had. They had beautiful shots and settings of the ice and the snow and the environment that they were in. On top of showing the brutality between the Viking clans fighting each other and the Predator itself and how vicious it was. The last story, The Bullet, I wasn't too crazy about. I thought it was an interesting take on how they presented how the Predator hunted compared to the other 2 stories, and even just how we see the Predator hunt even in the previous films. Instead of them being in the jungle or on the ground, they are doing it in the air. Now, one thing that I didn't care for at first, but it grew on me, was the animation. Because with this being an anthology, I thought it would have been better maybe if they changed up the animation direction for each story, similar to what they did in the Animatrix when it came out. Each story in the Animatrix had a different art direction and a animation style which fit for each story that they had. And I wish they kind of did something similar to this. Now, the thing I did not like about this movie was the last act. With all three stories culminating into the last act, it just felt kind of predictable, and you knew where the story was gonna go, especially for how the movie ended on somewhat of a cliffhanger, and they have a tease at the end of it. But overall, I think this was a cool project that they did with the Predator franchise. I like the idea of them finally doing an anthology story, and hopefully they will do more stories like this, hopefully in live action and not just animated. Especially since this franchise needs to breathe some new life into it, with there being a total of 8 movies within the franchise. It seems like there's more miss than hits that they have, and hopefully something like this will help them get on the right track. But let me know how you guys felt about this movie. If you liked it, you disliked it. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Let me know in the comment section. And once again, thank you guys for listening to this review. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, or if this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to stay updated with the latest movie reviews, movie news, television news, and anything dealing within the entertainment world. Once again, thank you guys for listening to my review, and I'll see you guys on the next review.